the Kushisaki Honour sightings. Referred to as the Kushisaki Honour by the Japanese, this strange entity appears to be the focus of a number of strange urban legends and claims coming from those living in larger cities of Japan. According to legend, the Kushisaki Honour was claimed to have been created when a woman was attacked by her husband after putting up with an abusive relationship for years. Unfortunately, this attack quickly got out of hand after the woman attempted to defend herself and the husband reacted with equal measure. This led to the spirit of the woman returning, creating the dark and otherworldly entity of the Kushisaki Honour. According to the urban legend, the spirit will roam the streets with a large pair of scissors and coming up to any men walking alone after dark. At first, everything might seem perfectly natural, as the woman will wear a medical mask to cover her mouth and ask the man if he finds her attractive. Depending on the answer, many claim that the spirit will quickly remove her mask to show her own disfigurements and either attack or disfigure the person of whom she targets. Many claim that it is due to this very reason that many men walking the streets of larger cities will go missing without a trace. Mantis Man cryptid. Located near the Musconetcong River, found in Hackettstown, New Jersey, is a hotspot location that many have reported as being an area that a massive praying mantis creature can be seen. Sightings of the mantis creature, also known as the Mantis Man, have been made so consistently that there seems to be online message boards that centre around supposed sightings by locals in the area of whom encounter the Mantis Man creature. According to eyewitnesses, Mantis Man stands at roughly 7 feet tall and closely resembles a praying mantis. However, the creature seems to be almost entirely transparent, as its skin looks to be a shade of brown that is not entirely opaque in its colour, as well as possessing massive wings that can be hidden or spread out, similar to creatures of the Mantodia order. Mantis Man is usually seen standing in the river, seemingly fishing for food. Whenever people spot the creature, it quickly runs away and hides within the nearby tree line to get away from any eyewitnesses, making it nearly impossible to follow. So far, there have been no reported attacks from the Mantis Man creature, and because of its routine and lone appearance, many have speculated that the creature is most likely an experiment gone wrong, as no normal praying mantis could ever evolve or be born through mutation to meet such a massive size, as the oxygenation of the creature relies on air pressure and does not possess any form of lungs. If such a species were ever to double in size, without lungs to allow it to breathe, the natural surrounding air would not be enough to allow the creature to oxygenate its cells and would soon thereafter suffocate. Others believe that Mantis Man is an extraterrestrial creature of some kind that has been left behind on Earth and, for reasons not entirely known, is unable to get back home. The invasion of Japan. Described in ancient Japanese mythology as a massive sea dragon, the Ryujin has been a recurring creature across a number of Japanese legends that span several centuries throughout the island nation's history. Historical experts dismiss the validity of the Ryujin having been a recorded undiscovered creature, as the ancient Japanese legends describe the sea dragon as a godlike figure that brought about wealth and good fortune. Interestingly enough, the Ryujin is recorded by the Japanese enemy Kublai Khan as having been the main deterrent against his Mongolian flotilla, wiping out his fleet before they could step foot on Japanese soil. This could very well mean that the Ryujin was a native species of large sea serpent that was well known to the native Japanese fishermen but unknown to foreign vessels. The Ningen of Antarctica. Antarctica has always been at the centre of a wide number of different conspiracy theories among all groups from around the world. Interestingly enough, it appears that Japan is no stranger to these theories and have been at the centre of rumours surrounding the icy continent. It appears that over the past few years, stories of strange humanoid creatures living in Antarctica have slowly been circulating all around Japan. According to the Japanese whale industry, many crew members aboard so-called whale research ships have reported seeing strange humanoid creatures on the continent. Reports detail that when approaching near the continent of Antarctica, Japanese crew members will report seeing what appears to be large giants laying out in the ocean that appear humanoid in shape. These creatures are described as being 20 to 30 meters in length and completely white in skin tone. Others have often reported that the creature was originally mistaken as being a large submarine in the distance before getting closer and seeing hands, fingers, eyes, and a mouth. This led to the name of the ningen by the Japanese crew, whereas others simply refer to these creatures as the Antarctic humans. To this day, not a single image of the creature has surfaced, and it continues to be a mystery of the Japanese crews that experience these occurrences on a nearly daily basis. The Big Grey Man of Ben Macdui. Back in 1891, famed Scottish climber Norman Colley would reveal to reporters and publications that during his climb of the summit of Ben Macdui, the second tallest mountain located in the United Kingdom, he had encountered a strange and supernatural entity that had forever changed his outlook on the natural phenomena of the world around him. During his climb near the summit of the mountain, Norman Colley first claimed, "I began to think I heard something else than merely the noise of my own footsteps. For every few steps I took, I heard a crunch, and then another crunch as if someone was walking after me, but taking steps 3 or 4 times the length of my own." Colley would also add that though he had made earlier attempts at locating the cause of the sound, the growing mist of the mountain made it nearly impossible for Colley to have seen any object more than 5 feet in any direction. It was not until Norman Colley reached the peak of the mountain, however, that his growing fears would reach their climax. Colley explained that upon reaching the summit, the noises of the hidden creature had suddenly created in him an immense feeling of fear that he had never felt before during any of his other climbing expeditions, causing him to immediately begin running on the loose rocks and nearly injuring himself as he descended the mountain. Although a number of original reports failed to coincide with one another, some claim that Norman Colley had spotted a large figure in the mist, causing him to flee in terror. This figure would later be dubbed as the Am Fear Loath Mor, also known as the Big Grey Man of Ben Macdui. Further study into the creature shows that a number of other well-experienced and world-renowned climbers also experienced some strange and supernatural presence on the mountain. In 1904, a climber by the name of Hugh D. Welsh claimed that he had heard slurring footsteps following behind him near the summit of the mountain and suddenly experienced a growing fear of eeriness and apprehension. In 1945, famed mountaineer and rescue worker Peter Densham reportedly heard crunching noises around him as he became overcome by a terrible feeling of concern, causing him to flee the expedition. These reports would eventually build up in number until 1958, when naturalist and mountaineer Alexander Tunian would publish an article in the Scots magazine that detailed a terrifying encounter. The article is quoted as saying, "In October 1943, I spent a 10-day leave climbing alone in the Cairngorms. One afternoon, just as I reached the summit cairn of Ben Macdui, mist swirled across the Larry grew and enveloped the mountain. The atmosphere became dark and oppressive, a fierce, bitter wind whisked among the boulders, and an odd sound echoed through the mist, a loud footstep, it seemed. Then another, and another. A strange shape loomed up, receded, came charging at me. Without hesitation, I whipped out the revolver and fired 3 times at the figure. When it still came on, I turned and haired down the path, reaching Glenderry in a time that I have never bettered.